When you're a collector of nerdly goods and you order something via the mail, post office, UPS, FedEx, and you see that it's arriving at your house at a given time, there is a certain fun excitement that penetrates that day and encompasses that day in true summer fun magic. And actually, what I have received in the mail today has nothing at all to do with Kiss. However, it is a comic book, and the anticipation and excitement I've had waiting for this comic book to arrive reminds me of a time many, many years ago. And in 1993, the comic books that appeared in my mailbox of my childhood home were these: Revolutionary Comics Hard Rock Comics Presents Kiss The Prehistories, Issue 1, 2, and 3. In 1992, things like this rarely popped up on the magazine rack, and one summer I stumbled upon in a music store this Kiss comic book called Tales from the Tours. And what this comic book was the brainchild of Spike Steffenhagen from Hard Rock Comics. And essentially it was a historical look at the touring history of the band. It focused on all the tours from the very first album all the way up to Hot in the Shade. And the detail and history that was put into these pages, Ace getting electrocuted in Florida, the Creatures of the Night tour, the band taking off the makeup and touring for the first time without makeup for the Lick It Up album, Paul Stanley's 1989 solo tour. And from that Tales from the Tour comic book, we learned of these. Now, in 1992 and 1993, my friend Dan and I were fully immersed in the world of Kiss at this point. We were collecting anything we could, finding any bootlegs we could, spending any amount of money that we could scrape up. We both worked at Bonanza Restaurant at the time.
Bonanza Restaurants, you can get a dinner of all the tender golden shrimp you can eat, only $8.99, plus a free trip to Bonanza's Fresh-Tastics food bar.
Times were tough, but any amount of money we could scrape up all went to Kiss. When word of these issues coming out spread, we immediately signed up to be on the mailing distro of these issues so we would not run the risk of missing them at the newsstand. You really did not see items like this. As a fan of the band, you were really beside yourself. You couldn't believe an item as cool as this regarding a band you loved was showing up in your mailbox. And what was kind of so cool about these books is you have to take yourself back to the time period that these came out. There was no internet as we know it today. Documentation of a band's history, and especially a band like Kiss, wasn't easily accessible. To get that kind of history and documentation in a book like this was amazing. I remember each of these issues arriving in the mail, and they all came over summer. I think it started in May, then that next one was in June, and then the last one was in July, summer of 1993. When these arrived in the mailbox, it was almost like Christmas Day. They would arrive at my house. I would immediately call Dan. He would run up the neighborhood to my house, and we would sit in my living room. One person would read one page, toss it to the other guy, that guy would read the same page, and it was back and forth, just full on rock and roll, diving into your favorite band fun. And as you can see, book one truly starts with the history of the band, to the formation of Wicked Lester, and eventually to Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, and Peter Criss coming together at 10 East 23rd Street in New York City. There's the transformation of the band from being a glam rock band to developing their makeup and their personas, and finally becoming Kiss. Even the borders of every page had these cool designs on them. The creation of the Kiss Army, Bob Ezrin seeing the band live and deciding he wants to produce Destroyer, the band's inclusion on the Paul Lynde Halloween special, the band touring Japan for the first time, and even dives into dark issues. This is Peter Criss with Jerry Nolan from the New York Dolls, and Jerry is introducing Peter to heroin. Kind of heavy material. And as you can see, an adventurous 18-year-old It's All For You demon took colored pencil to this comic book and added a little color. I'm glad I only did that to one page. But oh my gosh, the glory. How can you not love a comic book story about Kiss that begins, first panel, with Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park? Gene wanting to add Lassie to his solo record. He's freely laid down on the floor to record the vocals for his solo record. And also needed a little cocaine. This is one of my favorite pages. This is the release of the solo albums, and it was so coolly created by the artist of this comic book. Each panel features that member's makeup persona with boys and girls reacting to the album. I thought that was a pretty awesome way to depict how the teenage audience of America at the time reacted to the release of the solo records. I love this panel. This is kids sitting at home with their Kiss Halloween mask on, October 28th, 1978, watching Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. That's pretty freaking cool. Ending with the introduction of the Fox, Eric Carr. Again, not a lot to discuss here. Just kind of wanted to showcase these comic books. They're so cool. They're so well done. They're done with love. They're done with passion. And it really comes through on the page. 24 years ago, these comic books arrived in my mailbox and made for a fantastic rock and roll fun summer. Thank you for hanging with me. Take care. Be safe. I'll talk to you soon.